Hello everyone, welcome once again. So, in today's lecture, we'll be discussing about effects of public expenditure. In the previous topic, we have discussed what is public expenditure, what are the canons, types, and causes of public expenditure. So, in that continuation, we'll be continuing with the effects of public expenditure on various areas. So, let's find out what are the areas which are affected by public expenditure or which have an effect of public expenditure. It includes effect on distribution, production, consumption, economic stability, and economic growth. So these are the areas which are affected by public expenditure. So in the video, we are going to find out how these sectors are affected by the implementation or the usage of public expenditure. So we are going to take up each one of them individually, starting with the first one. That is the effect of public expenditure on production. The effect of public expenditure on production can be examined with reference to its effect on ability to work, save, and invest, willingness to work, save, and invest, and allocation of resources. So these are the areas which are affected by the public expenditure. When we are talking about production, then we have to consider three things: the ability, the willingness, and the allocation of resources. So let's find out how these areas are affected. When we are talking about ability to work, save, and invest, it says socially desirable public expenditure increases communities' productive capacity. Expenditure on education, health, communication increases people's productivity at work and their incomes as well. To make it more simpler, it says that when number of facilities or benefits are provided to the people, what happened as a result of which their effectiveness or the productivity increases. They are more willing to work, they are more willing to devote more of their time, they have more ability to perform better. So this is how these facilities affect the ability of work. Next comes the willingness to work. What happened? This willingness to work at times, willingness to work, save, and invest. When we're talking about saving and invest, this element gives a negative effect. What happens when people started thinking of saving more of their money, then rather than spending it around, rather than working for it? So it gives a bad taste to the entire thing. It says public expenditure sometimes bring adverse effects on people willingness to work and save. Government expenditure on social security facilities may bring such unfavorable effects. As I told you, it talks about unfavorable effects. For example, if a person is earning good amount and instead of working more, what they are doing, they are saving more of the amount. And for example, they are investing in PPF or PF or some other securities or something. So what happens? Their consumption, the pattern of consumption will be affected, the production will be affected. So this is how this willingness to save and invest have a negative effect on the entire situation. Next comes effect on allocation of resources among different industries and trade. It says many a times the government expenditure proves to be an effective instrument to encourage investment on a particular industry. What happens when government allocates or gives fund for a particular industry? It grows because every industry requires fund to grow for better infrastructure, for better machinery. So this fund which is allocated by the government helps the industries to grow or flourish more. When our industry is flourishing, it means the people working there are going to be benefited. So this is how the public expenditure have the effect on the production. The ability to work and save can be seen in a positive perspective. The willingness to save an investment can be seen in a negative perspective. And the diversion or allocation of resources can be considered as a positive mechanism. Next, it talks about effect on distribution. Let's see what does it says. The primary aim of the government is to maximize social benefit through public expenditure. The objective of maximum social welfare can be achieved only when the inequality of income is removed or minimized. Government expenditure is very useful to fulfill this goal. When we are talking about distribution, the first thing that is required to be done is to eradicate or remove the inequality of income. What happens? The poorer are turning more poorer and the richer section are becoming more richer. So this inequality has to be removed. The government is trying their best to bridge this gap by charging or by levying more taxes on the richer section, so that the poorer section can be benefited from that amount which is collected from the public. So this is how the distribution section of the economy is affected by public expenditure. Next comes the consumption. Public expenditure enables redistribution of income in favor of poor. It also talks about the poor, that how they are going to be benefited. It proves the capacity of the poor to consume. Thus, public expenditure promotes consumption and thereby other economic activities. The government expenditure on welfare programs like free education, healthcare, and housing certainly improves the standard of the poor people. The government is trying to provide the better facilities for the poorer section of the society, because they cannot afford, they did not have enough resources to manage that, manage a better standard of living. So what happened, government is providing health facilities, housing facilities, education, so that they can be at par with the other stratas of the society. So that's why government is spending a huge amount, a huge expenditure is incurred on the housing, consumption, income, or education for the poorer section of the society. Next topic, the section of which is mostly affected by this expenditure, is economic stability. First, we need to understand what is economic stability. Stability talks about the level of consistency in the economy. When the people are able to find the job where the level of inflation is not that high, because as it is said, a mild dose of inflation is required, but it should not be more than the required, that it creates a problem for the people. Because when inflation is there, the situation is this, that the prices are rising and it becomes really difficult for the people to cope up with this situation. So let's see what it says, effect on economic stability. Economic stability takes the form of depression, recession, and inflation. Economic instability. Instability takes the form of depression, recession, and inflation. Public expenditure is used as a mechanism to control instability. Public expenditure is implemented as a tool to control the situation of instability and make it convert into a stability. The modern economist Keynes advocated public expenditure as a better device to raise effective demand and to get out of depression. Public expenditure is also useful in controlling inflation and deflation. What happens, the government is spend the amount on various areas or the sectors, so that the situation of instability, the recession or the depression can be removed and the stability can be achieved. So this is the other sector which is affected by the expenditure, public expenditure. Lastly, it talks about economic growth. It says the goals of planning are effectively realized only through government expenditure. The government allocates funds for the growth of various sectors like agriculture, industry, transport, communication, education, energy, health, exports, imports, with a view to achieve impressive growth. When we're talking about economic growth, it talks about the development, the overall development of the economy. An economy cannot grow if it's all the sectors or the areas are not properly developed. So economic growth talks about that government is spending huge amount of money or huge funds on the various sectors, so that every sector of the economy can grow simultaneously, and as a result of which the entire economy can grow at a higher pace and it can reach a better level that has been targeted or aimed for the nation. So this is how the various sectors are affected by the allocation of public expenditure to the allied areas. So we have seen the effect on production, distribution, consumption, economic stability, and economic growth. So this is how public expenditure plays an important role in all the sectors of the economy. With this, we come to an end of the effects of public expenditure. I hope this topic must have been cleared. If you have any doubt or any query, please do feel free to let me know. So I'm here to help you out in every possible way. So with this, we complete with the topic of public expenditure. We have already discussed the canons, types, meaning, everything. Now the effects. So this is all for the day. Keep studying, keep learning, keep growing. And if you have any doubt, do let me know. I'm here to help you out. So that's all for the day. Keep studying, keep enjoying, keep learning, and keep growing. God bless you.